Hi, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Investigators of Northern Minnesota. This is our first live, and we're going to be doing an interview with Miss Jill Shelley, the owner of the Boyd House. And I'm here today with our lead investigator, David, and Miss Jill Shelley herself.
Oh,
Welcome, everyone. How are you doing?
welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
I can't hear you, Miss Jill. Turn your volume up, honey. Nope, still can't hear you. there, there you go. Now speak. Can't hear her.
Oh, still nothing coming through for volume.
Unmute your mic, Jill. Wait a second. She needs to go back in.
Oh,
Just bear with us, everyone. This is our first. This is a live, interview and everything. We got Mercury in retrograde, so it works when it wants to. We're just waiting for Miss Jill to log back in and click back in. Thank you for joining us and everything. This is very exciting that we're going to be doing this. Um, we're going to be doing our own investigation live soon at Boyd House. Let's see. Where is Miss Jill? Well,
we lost
anyway,
Jill.
while we're waiting for Miss Jill, David, let's tell the people about yourself and everything and how you got into the paranormal. What made
Yes, actually, so my name's I'm 27 years old, and I actually lived on a property for 25 years of my life that actually is demonic possessions that are onto the property. I experienced firsthand to the paranormal by coming out of my room one night and literally seeing red glowing eyes in the hallway.
Oh,
So
wow.
right there, I knew that there is something out there and the paranormal does exist. And I always had the passion to do the paranormal and wanted to make videos to be able to give everybody entertainment to see what we see while we're live. And it looks like we have Jill back.
Yay! Hi, Miss
Yeah, can you hear me this time?
Yes, yes,
Okay, there we go.
yes, we can. Yes, we can. Woohoo! Gotta love it.
This is the first time for me doing a video stream, so I'm not very tech savvy here. So
Oh, we'll get you used to it and everything.
Don't feel bad.
What did you say?
What is it? Is it popping up on?
Oh, hey, it's Mercury retrograde, so internet works when it wants to during the retrograde and all that stuff, especially when you got the
Yeah.
thing going on, flipping backwards. Oops, sorry, I hit the wrong thing. So, being the owner of the Boyd House, what compelled you to want to buy it?
well, I myself have been an investigator for over 10 years, and our
Okay.
team has traveled to well-known haunted locations. And I
Hmm.
thought, gosh, wouldn't it be fun to have my own place that I can go do research and allow others to do research at? And so
Right?
last year, I was able to purchase the Boyd House. I just came across it on an MLS listing, actually, and just
Wow.
had a really good.
Really?
It wasn't listed as haunted, but my realtor knew that's what I was looking for. But just something about the house
Right.
it kind of called to me in a way. And so then I just went forward and did a mini investigation there and ended up purchasing the house.
Oh, wow. So, on average, since you bought it and everything, how many teams have you been getting to come and wanted to rent the place so they can do investigations? Has it been a lot of
I
people, a lot of different
Yeah,
teams?
when we first opened, it was a little slow just because of advertising and getting the word out. I would say we maybe have had about at least 100 teams, I think, have probably
Oh,
been in
wow.
there. So,
Wow. That is really awesome. Could you give a little bit of the history of the house
The
to
internet is really sorry.
we're still learning a lot about the history of the house, but we do know it was built in 1901, and our deed goes back to 1884 when the land was actually owned by the Minneapolis and St. Louis Railroad. So
Oh, wow.
the train tracks actually are right on the other side of the property. So it runs right through the backyard, basically. So there's a
Oh,
lot of history involved with that. We do know we have 2 deaths in the house. They were all natural causes. One being Fred Eckert, who we believe is one of the spirits there. He owned the house in like 1910 and lived
mhm.
until like 1958. He was actually one of the founders of the town. He was
Oh,
a
wow.
justice of the peace, and he owned a general merchandising store. So we have kind of a lot of history with him on there. Different things that he used to, the fire departments, they didn't have phones back then. Fred
Right.
was one with a phone, so they would call him. He'd run down the street, ring the bell, and get the fire department to come out and put out any fires that they had.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, we do get some EVPs and also a spirit box with the name of Fred. So we believe that he's still in the home as well. And
Oh,
yeah, so we're still learning a lot about we don't know of any other deaths. We come across different things about a stabbing, but I haven't been able to prove anything in the house, just a couple things that indicate to that.
okay.
So they didn't keep really good records back in the 1800s, so it's
True.
really hard to find stuff. But the one thing too is that the town now is only about 200 people or less, and back in the day, though, in the 1900s, it was a big booming Wild West town. We have pictures of the carriages, the horses, the cowboys, and it had general stores, hardware stores,
Wow.
hotels, everything. And now there's like 3 businesses in town. That's it. So, so there was a lot of history, and then also just I don't know mileage wise, but basically the town was backed up against the Sioux Dakota reservation line. So there could have been a lot of history back then too. If you think back in the day in the Wild West, we probably
I,
did
I would not
a
be
lot of stuff.
surprised. I would not be
Yep.
surprised. That's why one thing I had said to the team and everything, just to be nice and everything, and show homage to the original ancestors of the area, is to bring some tobacco and everything, and go around the edge of the property, and give some offerings of thanks, because traditionally with the different Native American tribes, especially with the Plains Indians, anytime you would go meet with an elder, you would bring them tobacco for their pipe as a sign of respect and
Mhm.
stuff. And then with being that they have close to the reservation and everything, I know a lot of other people around the areas and everything have had problems where they have a lot of tribes have a what they call a Native American elemental. It's a protective type spirit that's attached to the land.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever had any problems of dealing with those or anything of the nasty natured, you know?
I have not, no elementals or anything. At the Boyd House, everything seems to be real friendly. In my experience, I've encountered some nasty spirits
Oh,
at
really?
other locations, but
Oh,
never any elementals or anything.
oh, okay, good. That's very good to know and everything. Also, too, what do you know about the children of the place? 'Cause I know there's
Um,
a little boy and
yeah,
maybe a girl, if I'm staying corrected.
yeah, I have when I before I purchased the house, there's a medium that I really trust very well. And she said that there were at least 2 children that she could see at that time, a little
Mhm.
boy and a girl, and the girl kind of protects her little brother. I've gotten the name Luke and I've gotten the name Jacob. So I don't know which is which. I tend to think like more kids come. I don't know if it's a beacon or what's going on, but we tend to have a lot of childlike or children activities in the home. A lot of
Has
audible
anyone found
voices.
maybe a spiritual portal?
I don't know if necessarily a portal, but I just wonder sometimes when you start having more teams in and more people doing it, you're running
Right.
spirit boxes. I don't allow Ouija boards, but again, I'm not there, so I don't know what people are doing. Hopefully they're not, because I don't want to really open something that like in that sense.
Yeah.
But I just sometimes seen that a lot of the names that we get are nothing to do with the deed or the title that I have on the house. None of the names ever match, except for Fred has been the only one that's been a match on there. But we do tend to get, and I do know that Fred and his wife's name was Minnie. They had 4 children that did die in infancy. Um, I
Hmm.
haven't gotten either one of their names. I just went to their grave site, so none of their names have matched up either with anything we're getting. So I don't really know why we have the spirits that we do. And I'm just kind of hoping with everybody who comes to investigate, we can figure this mystery out altogether.
Oh yeah, I'd be more than happy to. I'm the second medium of our team and everything, and I would love to help out. Especially dealing with finding out what the children was there they any accidents that happened with the train and everything close to the property by any chance?
I did hear a gentleman, I haven't found the actual proof, so it was just a story, whether I don't know where he got his information, but he did say there was somebody in town that did fall and get run over by the train and killed on the tracks.
Uh,
So, and it very close to where the home is. So it's a possibility. And, like you say, back in the day, there was probably a lot of train accidents and they didn't report a lot of stuff that went on too.
any
Oh yeah.
history of any like yellow fever from back in the day or TB problems back in the early 1900s or anything in the
Oh,
town?
I haven't as found as any history on that. No, but I'm pretty sure they probably dealt with the Spanish flu because that was pretty much nationwide back in the 1800s. They had that, and then I do know, I think it was in the late 1700s. The temperatures down there dropped like way below zero, and probably I think they said or quite I don't remember the exact number, but it was a huge number of Native Americans that had froze to death down there. The from the
That
Sudacora.
explains a lot. That explains a lot with what's going on and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Especially with dealing with the nasties and everything. So, if any of them actually get out of hand, you might, out of respect of the native tribes and everything, is try to find a local shaman that
Mm-hmm.
works with them and everything, just in case if any of them, get a little too nasty or anything. Sometimes you have to, depending on what you're working with, in the area of where you're investigating, if you know, I always tell people you have to research what you're going up against and everything because, so you can protect yourself, you know, and that's definitely, something you might want to think about checking into, you know, for the house and stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe find out what tribes they were. So, like I said, maybe doing the tobacco thing, you know, it's like, hey, I'm sorry for what happened to you, but this is out of respect and everything. My family, lives here now, in your own words and showing that you're sincere, you know, they respect that type of stuff,
Right.
you know.
We actually do have two of our members investigating the Boyd House today at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Just to let everybody know.
Yep. Is that Miss Dottie and Miss Susie?
Correct.
Yeah. Miss Susie, she owns Susie's Kitchen there in Rosemount, just outside of St. Paul. And that's another place. You might want to come and join us and everything. We would love to have you. She's a hell of a cook, but she also has some extra guests that are customers that don't want to leave, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That would be something to check out for sure.
And
Yeah.
so we're going to be doing that on Monday the 27th. So if you are available, after the show, get with David and everything, and you know, let he'll give you all the information, and you guys, more than welcome to visit and hang out with us. We're doing it from what, Monday evening to Tuesday morning.
Yep, it'll be actually July 27th at 3 p.m. till 6 a.m. on the 28th.
Okay, you know, whatever you guys got available for the team, and I know Miss Susie would love to cook for everybody. She's a
Yeah.
hellacious cook. So
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah, I'll check my schedule. I'll get back to you on that one. And I'm hoping the team has a good night. I was just there this weekend finishing up some renovations. We've been trying to bring the house back to the 1900s. So
Oh
I
wow.
gave them a good pep talk, and I said, I hope you're really good, and be really active for Susie. She really wants to talk to you. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that they listen.
oh yeah.
Miss
We're
Susie does.
hoping that they
She's a
do.
natural empath. She's a, that has that clairsentience where she can feel them and and sense them and stuff, but she doesn't exactly sees them. So um, I know they just recently went to the Palmer House and they got a lot of good activity and
Well, that's
everything. So um, what was your first experience when you went to the Boyd House?
well, my first one, I guess, there's two ways to look at it. The first one, when I was doing my mini investigation, when I did my first look at the house, when we pulled up, the realtor hadn't been there yet, and I was there with Donna, my other teammate. And we were just kind of sitting outside in the car, just waiting because it was winter. And I said, "Do you kind of feel like this house is really intently looking back at you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got that feeling too." So when we walked in, it was to me, I just kind of felt like warm and inviting, but yet it was kind of cold
Mm.
in a way. And so I went around, I did investigation. I had a REM pod sitting up. We've renovated the room, but at the time it was a peach room. And I put a REM pod up on a shelf, and within 8 minutes, it started going off and interacting questions when I was saying, "Can you touch that again?" And it would do that. And then I had that same day, we were running a spirit box in the where the piano room is, and you could just hear a woman. She just said, "Who are you?" right across the spirit box, because I'm sure it was kind of oddball that they've never
Oh
actually been talked to, investigated. They're probably like, what is going on here? And then we had also gotten the name Bridget in the closet where the girl supposedly is at, on the spirit box too. So we just had a couple of those things, and then talking to my psychic friend, and then we actually hit the owners up, who said they had very minimal experiences. I think they blew a lot of it off, but they did have quite some activity. They don't really like to talk about it. So
a lot of
um,
kids don't. They're afraid to because you know with modern man and everything, they have detached themselves from true spirituality and dealing with the spirit world. That when something happens, you're always taught, "Oh, you're crazy. You're just seeing stuff. Oh, that was just your imagination and everything." I remember as a kid hearing that because I was born with the cow, the veil as they call it, and everything. And where I grew up in Florida, literally was a Seminole burial ground and Civil War battlefield. So we had all kinds of foolishness going on in our house. And
mhm.
so by when I was 8, the my dog, I guess, was out in the shed with my dad, and they were growling at something. And lo and behold, something threw a hatchet at my dad and missed his head like by an inch.
Oh,
And
wow.
oh yeah, so and then he goes, "You know what, kid? You're not crazy after all." Because he had seen somebody in like Seminole looking type garb,
Hmm.
the peripheral and everything, and like running away after it was thrown and stuff. And so after seeing that, that meant, and my dad's like one of the biggest skeptics ever. I mean, he's like scientific mind. I must be able to touch, I must be able to see, in order to make it real to him. And so after that, it was like, oh yeah, so definitely, I always encourage people, you know don't ever be afraid. We need to make it's more of the norm, being able to feel comfortable enough to recognize, yeah, there is an afterlife. And now, and when people pass, they don't always go to heaven or hell or whatever concept. Sometimes because of certain things, they're trapped here, you know, on
as
our.
some people say, business, as some people say.
I didn't hear you. What you say? You were lagging.
Oh, yeah, my internet's not doing so well, so I apologize on my end.
It's okay.
Basically, what I was saying is some people say that it's unfinished business that they have to take care of before they can cross over.
True. Very true. You know, personally, I
Yes,
wouldn't mind being a ghost in
and
this realm and everything because I don't feel like being reborn again. Dan, that's true, hell, man. Where you know, being reincarnated again, and I saw this one post. It was so funny where they had the little baby had this really pissed off look on his face when you realize you've been reincarnated in the same broke ass family. Excuse my language. That, you know, and so you know, people need, like I said, when dealing with allegations and everything. Uh-oh, you there? You went in and out real quick, Miss Joe.
Oh, yeah, I'm here if you can still see me. Looks like I'm here.
Yep,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can still see my
Okay.
end.
So, and you said that there are some nasties in there. Have you had any personal experiences with the nasties spirits that are of Boyd House?
Well, I don't think we have anybody really nasty. I think if you push them a little too far, they can get a little more
Yeah,
ornery
it's
or
like
crazy.
like, do you mind? Can you leave me alone? Can I have some peace? Let me haunt in peace. I don't feel like talking. Yeah, like like I always try to tell people when I have clients and everything, you know, the way a person was in real life, that's they're still going to be the same way in the afterlife because our soul, whatever you like to call it, is what they call conscious energy, you know, and it's still going to be if they were negative in life, their main reason why they're stuck here, they're still going to be negative afterwards, you know. the,
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
that's why when I
Not to
have.
interrupt, not to interrupt, but I'm going to take myself off screen for a couple seconds, and I'm going to fix my connection.
Okay, do your thing. I think us ladies will be fine. Do what you got to do. Now, in dealing with the Boyd House and everything, since you've been doing the renovations, have you seen a lot more activity since you've owned the house and started the renovations compared to when you know first got it?
I don't know if I noticed an increase, except for we do have a lady. She's really crabby. She has a really raspy voice. I get her voice captured quite a few times on EVPs. It's like she smokes 100 cigarettes a day. Um,
I love it. I love it. I
but
love it.
yeah, she gets a little cranky. So since we've been renovating, she's been letting us know just by we were ripping some wallpaper down and we got an EVP that she's like, that's it. Like she was tired of that. She's like, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. And yeah, she just gets a little cranky sometimes, so we pick up her voice a little bit more. She doesn't like you in her bedroom. She just doesn't like you messing with stuff. You know, I don't know her name. I just know she's cranky.
Was she the little old lady that passed in the place?
That I don't know. I have not gotten her name. The one name that I know that the girl who passed away, her name was Anna, and she was in her 70s or so. And then we know of Fred. So those are the two that we know have passed away.
That's Anna you're talking to. That's the little old lady.
Oh, you think it's Anna? She's never said her name. So,
That's Anna. Oh yeah, that's Anna. All right. That
okay.
explains. Yeah, that's Anna. Yeah, little old raspy voice, and she's been smoking since she was like 12. Mm. Has anyone ever like tossed anything at you guys, or just you know gave
That's it.
out like leave me the
That was
hell?
Um, I've had just recently, I had set up a poker game down in
Mhm.
the basement. and I brought in a bunch of coins from the 1900s and a real big gold coin piece that was old. And I had put it down in the basement, threw a REM pod on there, shuffled the cards, came down there. I'm just like, fives or wilds, just rambling on poker lingo. I have no idea what I'm talking about because I've never played. Anyway, so the REM pod was going off from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 o'clock, just on and off. And every time I'd run down there, except for one time, it would stop. And there was one time I stopped to have a conversation with it and actually started doing yes, no's with me for a bit. And then, of course, I just wanted to make sure. So I changed the battery, which it was brand new to start with. Then I changed the tone of the REM pod. Then I went and just got a whole new REM pod, and every single one of those had gone off. So there was no explanation. But every time I was shuffling the cards, and I talk to them all the time when I'm there, even if I'm not investigating, I'm just like, hey, how was your week? Blah, my week was like this. So, but I had put a card on the edge of the table, not hanging over the edge, just right to the edge, kept that one separate. And I'm like, hey, you guys, if you really enjoyed playing the poker game tonight, because I shuffled it several times throughout the night, just go ahead and just push this card right off the table. I'd so appreciate that. And it let me know that you like the game. And at midnight, they threw that card off the table. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
So I'm happy they did that. And it was like a jack of clubs or something, so in case anybody wanted to know. But other people have had like a ball, like roll up the hall and come back, make a complete circle and come back down. People have had doors move, things falling off shelves. There's a little in the kids' room. I have like a little doll rocking chair that one of the dolls sits in, and somebody has seen that rocking. And yeah, I think that's for some of the movement things off the top of my head. That's what I can come up with. So.
Oh wow! Awesome. Your turn, David.
I did get some confirmation from some other paranormal investigators. They did have somebody that was cranky throw something at them. It was in the middle of the dark. They don't know exactly what it was, but they did get something thrown at them. So I don't know. Is there any validation to that?
Yeah. Like I've heard other people have stuff at them. We just kind of went through with some of the objects that I have been experienced or that I have actually heard. Not everybody tells me what happens, and I do have a journal there. So I just kind of hope, even if people aren't leaving any feedback, that they did have some sort of activity going on. But there are definitely reports of things being moved and touched and things like that.
Oh wow!
And it also means that it's one of the most active and very friendly spirits at this house. Everybody's been talking about within the first 5 minutes, you walk in the door, you'll end up getting something immediately.
Yeah, I tend to have a lot of stuff, and a lot of people hear that too. But it's the way I say too. It's a luck of a draw. If they don't want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you. And I think a lot of it depends on the team and the mood and how they and their aura and energy is being given off. I think plays a huge factor in what happens at the house too.
Oh yeah. I totally agree. Because go ahead, hon.
Oh, I was just going to say, we tend to make sure that we cleanse ourselves and make sure we're all calm and relaxed before we even start any investigations, because then that gives us a clean slate and our auras are at least lower than they were when we first arrived.
I make the team spray themselves down with Florida water. In the South, we call it, holy water on steroids. I mean, it works best. With the essential oils that are used to make it and everything. It's great for blessing, protecting, cleansing out, banishing anything negative and stuff. And so I always, especially with my girls, I make them keep an emergency, get one of those little refillable perfume bottles with the screw top, and always keep it with you and everything. So anytime, because I know like David, him and his wife, have a photography company, and they love taking pictures of the abandoned, old buildings and cemeteries and stuff like that. So if they know if they're going to be going in there, not really just to do a regular investigation, but just to take pictures, they still make sure that they spray themselves before and after and everything, so they ain't bringing something home because they got kids at home, and
Right.
God forbid you bring something nasty, home with you and stuff like that. So definitely,
Correct.
make sure that we stock up on that before we, start our investigations. So it's your turn again, Mr. David.
Okay, so we were talking with Rob Paranormal. Have you had him at your location prior?
Oh yeah, Rob's had quite a few experiences at the house. So he's one of the things I found interesting is he had we have a couple dolls I bought in that are rumored to be haunted. Now I don't know if they really are possessed or not possessed, but if they are, the
Have
vessel from some sort of spirit. But anyway, so we have this musical doll, and he had put her on the children's bed. And I've even tested out even after I knew beforehand because he had asked me about it. And I even checked it out afterhand. And just recently I did it because I'm working on something. And anyway, he put the doll. She's like a music doll, so she's got a flat base. She was sitting on the bed. You can stomp around on the floor on that bed. He was throwing ping pong balls at landing next to the doll. Nothing's happening. She's just sitting there. And he had asked if they could tip it over, and yeah, it ended up getting tipped over. So that happened to him too. So there's something else that had moved. So I don't know if it was the one that was haunted or somebody other kids have pushed it over, but yeah, she fell.
oh wow, awesome.
That's awesome. He was actually talking. We're actually going to be doing another interview with 17th about the Boyd House, and we were going to be talking to him about it too. So I wanted to just clarify to make sure that he was there. I did see some of his videos, and he has got a lot of evidence that has intrigued my mind to really wanted to go to the Boyd House. I've been hearing nonstop messages from other people messaging me saying that the Boyd House, if you really want a true first investigation, go to the Boyd House. It will make you believe if you're not a believer already, the way it is.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we're getting a lot of good feedback on that. So, and I'm hoping you guys get some good activity too.
Oh, most definitely. 'Cause especially when, because like David has, he has a natural medium and everything. And, and when you have a team that, are empathic or have that ability and stuff, you're a natural magnet, um, for being able, when you're especially, in groups together, to
Yeah,
not realize that you actually all will open up the communication with no problem and everything. Because everyone's the pineal gland that we have is our key that helps us communicate with spirit. So that's why some people, even though per se the house isn't, there's, how they say sometimes it's the person that's haunted, not the building,
Hmm.
because the person is a natural medium, and and because of having those natural grips, you're literally, your light, it's shining a little bit brighter for them, and so they see you as a beacon. And the reason why you have those gifts is because you're meant to help them, you know to move on and stuff. And because of us in general have gotten away from that, a lot of people don't realize they have these gifts, and then they end up going crazy because certain malevolent ones like to take advantage of them. And that's why I make sure the team is always, anywhere we go. And I'm always, I teach, people how to be the spiritual warrior, especially if you're going to be a paranormal investigator. You need to know how to protect yourself, because you, like, I mentioned before, you never know what you're coming up against if you don't know the history of the property, you know
Right.
the one thing I noticed with a lot of people, they say, "Oh, paranormal, they're not going to hurt me." It's not. It's false. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have been scratched. I have been felt like I couldn't breathe, like I was being choked, and this
hmm
was all on the property that I lived on for 25 years of my life, and it's real. It's not no joke. It's not something to go play with, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can technically end up having something more evil follow you home than what you were actually looking for in the first place.
That actually happened to a girlfriend of mine when I used to live in Baltimore. I used to be on the Baltimore Paranormal Investigation team, and her, son, how teenagers are, they don't want to listen and everything. He refused to wear his Saint Michael and stuff. That she made everyone on the team had a blessed Saint Michael from the church, to wear, during investigations. And they were going to this one cemetery and everything, and something ended up following them home. And then they had to call the priest and everything to cleanse the house out. It got that bad, you know. Has anyone ever had
It's
any
not
problems like that at the Boyd House?
Not that I know of. I haven't heard anything like that of being followed home or anything. So hopefully they're just happy where they are and they'll just hang out there.
Right, right.
exactly. They're very friendly. I was watching the St. Croix Paranormal's videos actually, and they're very, very friendly. Like,
Good.
I just never seen spirits that could be so friendly. Like, they ask you who you are, or how are you, or how have you been, or they ask you normal questions
It's
that
Minnesota nice. What do you
anybody would normally
expect?
ask you.
Well, we're in Minnesota. Yeah, they're gonna be polite to you. Oh, how you doing? You probably hear like the Minnesota accent if in your mind's
Yeah.
eye and stuff. Probably hear like the little old Andy going, oh, scratchy, raspy voice. But
Well, I really appreciate your time for this to come out and video with us. But I'm gonna let Miss Reverend Patience take over and let her close out for us.
okay, that's fine. But definitely, we looking forward to doing the investigation and everything. And everyone, please make sure you tune in. We'll be streaming live when we do the investigation, August 3rd through the 4th, correct? At the Boyd House.
Yep, that's fine.
Fifth till noon.
We'll be start live on the 3rd at 4 p.m. Please make sure you either tune in on the YouTube channel for the team or through our Facebook page. And, this has been a real pleasure and a real honor. Thank you for joining with us. Sorry about the little technical difficulties, everyone. We are a live show. So, hey, it does happen. But, David, real quick, please give everyone our information and everything, so they can be able to contact us either through the Instagram, the YouTube, or the
Yep.
Facebook, and our email, please.
Alrighty. So we have a new website that we'd like to advertise with everybody. We actually officially got our first official website, and I am going to post up a photo here. Once it loads up, it'll be popping up in our logo screen. At the bottom right hand, or on top right hand corner, it'll give you all our information. I don't know if everybody can see that, but the website is www.pionmparanormal.com. We will be updating that all the time, and our phone number is 763-250-9354. Again, that is 763-250-9354. If you have any experiences or any questions you want to ask us, feel free to leave us a voicemail or call us or text message us. We can answer all three, and we will get back to you as soon as we can.
And Miss Shelley,
Can
please.
anybody see?
Yeah, we can see it
Can you see
perfectly
the?
fine. Yep. And Miss,
Okay, I just want to make sure it popped up.
okay, Miss Jill, and will you let everyone know your information for the St. Croix Paranormal team and how they could contact you for doing, if they do belong to another team, that they can book an investigation for the Boyd House?
Yeah, you can on our Facebook page, just the Boyd House. You can just look us up that way. That's the easiest way. Our email is boydhouse217@yahoo. Or our paranormal team, which we kind of got a little page on there about the Boyd House, is St. Croix, which is STCROIX paranormal.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And everyone, have a blessed night. Stay safe. And remember, Spirit is always around you and always with you, honey. Y'all stay blessed. And remember, social distancing and wear those masks when you go out. Okay? Love everyone. Stay haunted.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks for
Bye.
having me.
You're welcome.